Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, February 13th, 2023. I'm Giovanni Bonacore, analyst, trader, and educator with Vantage Markets. Well, we've been talking about all month long, stocks have kicked off the new year on solid footing as traders increasingly bet on easier U.S. monetary policy and weakening inflation. The S&P 500 has popped more than 6% in 2023, building on a rally that goes back to mid-October. Since October 12th, the benchmark index is up 14.4%. Consumer discretionary, communication services, and tech, three laggards in 2022, are leading the way in the new year, advancing more than 12% each. Despite this strong start to the year, some buying opportunities may be on offer for investors based on a widely followed metric on Wall Street, the Relative Strength Index. The RSI measures the speed and magnitude of a stock's recent price moves, letting investors gauge possible overbought and oversold conditions in the market. An RSI greater than 70 indicates overbought conditions for a stock or an asset, meaning, meaning it may be time for investors to trim their positions. An RSI of less than 30, meanwhile, points to a stock or asset being oversold. In other words, there may be a buying opportunity. Now, the focus this week will primarily be on economic data, with the consumer price index scheduled for tomorrow at the top of the list of potential market movers. Expectations are for the CPI month to month numbers to tick up to 0.5% from negative 0.1%, while the year on year is expected to show further easing. This month back to 6.2%, down from the prior at 6.5%. In addition to CPI, we also have a producer price index and retail sales. Thursday, keep an eye on the weekly jobless claims. We have some housing numbers. And lastly, OPEC will release their monthly oil reports. In terms of companies reporting quarterly results this afternoon, keep an eye on Avis and Arista, I'm sorry. Tomorrow we have Coca-Cola, Marriott, Airbnb, and TripAdvisor. Later in the week, we'll have the focus on Cisco, Shopify, Roku, Twilio, Crocs, John Deere, and DraftKings. Lastly, don't lose sight of crude oil. It's back to $80 a barrel last week on the WTI, and the Brent topped around 87. We all know rising crude oil prices feed directly into inflationary pressures the Fed has been forced to deal with over the last year or so. Last week's decision from Russia to cut output by 500 barrels per day beginning in March is supporting higher prices. We've also seen rates inching back up, that 2 years back to 4.5%, and the two combined could start to create headwinds for the indices again if it continues. So, with that being said, let's take a look at what we are seeing as the market opens. So, we opened up, gap up in the middle of Friday's range. Uh, we could probably continue to see a close of this gap and then continue with the momentum to the upside. So, I am bullish on it, but I do have my resistance at 12,500, my support at 12,000 for the Nasdaq. My scenario for the S&P is for this gap to close, which is almost really there, and then find some footing and seeing if we can climb back up to 4150 and stay around this area. That could probably so, or we could probably see yes an idling day. As for the Dow has also opened up gap up, even though on Friday we also closed on a high note. So we could probably see that continuation in the Dow and other markets. As far as crude oil goes, well, it's looking to come back up to $80. Is inching right around $79 right now. So let's see if that will continue to 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 stay holding around that 78 and $79 and see if it can reach back up to $80. As far as net goes, like I've been saying so far, Nat Gas is really that $250, 50 cents Nat Gas is really where the market is holding. Now, but this is really set for a breakout. In that scenario, that breakout could most likely indicate to the downside. Okay, that'll bring the other side below 30, and then we could probably it'll probably come down towards the $2 market. How far down? I don't know. But I'm actually selling Nat Gas today. I'm buying crude oil, selling Nat Gas. Uh, Gold, I have my support at 1820, 1850. That's my psychological support level. But that could be reached pretty quickly. And let's say if that's the case, 1850, the support, finding some buyers and bringing the price of it back up to at least 1880, 18 or 1900. Then we have silver. Silver is also on a sell-off. Most likely will continue to be on the downside as far as the RSI is not is getting nearer to the 30 oversold. So we could probably find that support at 2150 selling silver. And then copper also selling copper. $4 is that psychological support level for it. So it's very close to it. Bitcoin has finally breaking out of this range to the downside. 21,000. That's psychological support level for it. But I have mine at 2050, and then 22 is my support selling Bitcoin. So far as the euro seems to have found some footing, trying to climb back up to 107, and that will be waiting to see if that happens. The pound is actually retracing somewhat. It opened up in the middle of Friday's range also. Most likely come down to close that gap. So be wary of that because the dollar index, it opened up gap up. And so let's see if that 103.50 will hold its support and find buyers around here and bring it back to 104. So that will make obviously gold, silver, and other copper trade lower. Okay, so that's my view for the market today. Have a fantastic trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow.